Why gay men need masculinity. Hey guys, Michael Pizzulo here, psychotherapist in West Hollywood, working with gay men. So there's been a lot of conversations right now about men in general and masculinity, and I think a lot of them are problematic, but in particular, I want to talk about how this affects gay men, because I think oftentimes when we hear discussions about men in our culture and masculinity, there's this assumption that it's referring to straight men and we're kind of opted out or not included, but I think actually a lot of the current discourse does involve us and is having a negative impact on us. So first and foremost, I think just to give some context, I think most gay men have a complicated relationship with masculinity because they inherently felt like they didn't have enough, because they were gay. So I think there's an initial complication there for most of us of just feeling like, am I masculine? Is that even possible? And I know when it gets into our community, then there's a lot of almost like fetishizing stereotypes of masculinity about, how deep is my voice, or do I play sports, or, kind of caricature aspects like that. So I want to clarify a few things. One is, both men and women have a balance of feminine and masculine traits, right? Typically, men lean more towards the masculine, women more towards the feminine, but it varies from person to person, and it's completely about being authentic to what you have. But I think it goes without saying, generally speaking, men tend to exhibit more masculinity than femininity, gay or straight, right? And I think we often get confused about what this term actually means. So masculinity is about providing and protecting, right? It's not and with that does come some aspects of being competitive, being dominant, being direct, stuff like that, right? But the whole idea is to use that force for good, not for bad. And there's a lot of conversation in our culture right now about, labeling masculinity as though it's toxic or something or other. But just to clarify, the masculine force is about doing good. So the idea that it can be toxic to me makes no sense. I think they're referring to acts of violence or, predatory things that are horrific. Those are not masculine. Those are just bad. Those are just evil, poor behavior, something or other. But I think we need to bring back to the real definition of the word, that masculinity is about providing and protection. And these are really important functions in our relationships, in our society, and so on and so forth. And they're functions that gay men provide as well, right? Gay men are very educated in our culture. We are doing very well socioeconomically. So we are providing and protecting quite a lot already. The masculinity that we exhibit actually does have a positive impact on the world and on our culture. And I feel like that's getting lost a lot in the shuffle. And I would say that, the benefit, I think, of being gay is that we get more permission to celebrate our feminine side, which is fantastic, right? I think straight men have a very difficult time embracing that part of themselves because it's shamed and ridiculed, and we're given a lot more permission, which I think is one of the good things that we get to have. But with celebrating the feminine side, which is great, we don't want to lose track of the masculine side altogether. And we definitely don't want to demonize it, because I think we're getting hit sort of with a double whammy of, growing up feeling like I am inherently not masculine enough, so I don't know how to even cultivate this part of me. And now we're adults, and now we're being told that masculinity is toxic, so now I really want to push it away. But I think it's creating a very negative message, because gay men have a masculine side. And if we're being told that this part of us is wrong or needs to be kept into a box or, kept in a dungeon or whatever it is, I think this is going to set us up for very negative mental health outcomes. It's not going to make us feel good about ourselves. When we want to be more alpha, go-getter, aggressive, again, in a good way, it's going to create a lot of internal confusion of, am I leaning into this like toxic, evil part of me? Or am I just exhibiting some healthy masculinity, right? So I think that what we're going to see, and I think men in general are seeing this, but I think it's going to spill into gay male culture as well, is if I'm being told that there's a part of me that's bad, it's going to lead to a negative mental health place. It's going to make people depressed. It's going to make people feel bad about themselves, especially if you don't have a lot of natural femininity to balance it out. I think you're really going to feel kind of stuck and not knowing how to express yourself and be who you are. And the point of our, our whole movement, our liberation, is to express ourselves organically and to accept ourselves organically, not to put a different part of us in the closet. We've freed our sexuality, but we don't want to take part of being a man and shove it away and demonize it and try to hide it from the world. So my suggestion is that gay men celebrate being masculine, but what it actually is to be masculine, which I would just go back to the two words of being a provider and being a protector. That's where my mind goes. It's not about, do I drink beer? Do I watch sports? Do I wear baggy clothes? Like, none of that matters. Those are just sort of like caricature style aspects that sure could indicate some masculine presentation, but really isn't fundamental to what being a masculine presence is in the world. If you just think of the most basic, like, what is the role of a father? What is the role of a mother? One is nurturing and soothing, and the other one is protecting and guidance. So again, I think that gay men have these aspects and we want to celebrate them and not demonize them. So that's my pitch. I hope that made sense. I hope it's useful. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm really curious, because I just think that the current discourse around all of this is going to be really negative to our self-esteem and self-worth, and that's not what we want. We want men to feel like they can be themselves, that they can be masculine or feminine and however is organic to them, but there's something wrong with expressing this part of us. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I appreciate you watching, and feel free to like or subscribe to check out more stuff, and let me know other topics you want me to cover. So thanks, guys.